Good evening. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to WooTube. My name's Baran Woo, and I don't know if anyone noticed on the weekend, but it was American Continentals, and there was some wild shit going down. Evening, Lucille, here for the pre-stream bangers. I watched my watch numbers like drop by one now that the music stopped. Um, yeah, so Conts was pretty nuts. I kind of caught it. I kind like always out of the corner of my eye or my ear. I was kind of listening to the stream um, as as I was doing stuff. I was parenting for most of the weekend, so kind of wasn't able to like fully fully comprehend everything that was going on, but following where I could. Good evening, Nick. Yes, the hair is at the length where headgear is now necessary. Otherwise, it literally pokes me in my eye. Um, so I mean, firstly, I haven't got the list up because I don't think Real's published it yet, but we can have a look at it in a second. Massive shout out to Real for winning. Huge congratulations, QTM. Two QTM members battling it out in the finals with Tuno versus Real in like some pretty exciting games. Those ones I did manage to catch and had my full attention. And yeah, they were pretty wild. Riel winning with Riel, otherwise known as Kit, is just warms my heart. I don't know if Kit has won an event or something this big. I don't want to say ever, but like certainly for a very long time, if not. But you know, Kit is one of my is the first runner that I learnt. Like they have a runner that I learnt to play Netrunner with, so always have a very very strong connection with them. I always love when you can play Kit, and you know we can bemoan her lack of influence and everything else, but Riel did an incredible job putting together a deck. Um, yeah, I think it's one like AMTs. Like I'm kind of more on the like grand scale, something sort of Continentals, Worlds, anything along those lines, which would be asking a lot. Um, but yeah, like absolutely, like great stuff. Um, and you know, like there are certain things which meant that Kit was a really really good um kind of call. Obviously, like Tributary being banned helps a lot. Um, but yeah, we'll have a look at that deck in a second. These are for you, Axu. Throw up my metal look. But we should talk about this. So there were two undefeated corps at Worlds. Like two completely undefeated IDs. Now each of them was only being played by one person, so like whatever. But if you went into sort of I'm going to bet on Continentals, and you put your bets on the two corps which you went, well, no one's going to beat them, probably wouldn't have been Issuaq and Pravdivost, but that's what we got. And got it. Top of Swiss at NAPC Vancouver. Okay, that's fair. Um, and yeah, it's Alex pointing out that Hams topped a recent AMT. But this Isouak deck went undefeated 8-0, which is like pretty significant. It beat some incredibly good players. It knocked the last tiebreaker out of the cut. Massive shout out to the tiebreakers who, between them, there was a fair few entering, but I think we got 3 tiebreakers into the cut. Congratulations to Augustus. Massive shout out to Koga, who said he'd never made a cut of something that big before. And also Seb K made the cut. And then the bubble of places 17, 18, and 19 were also all tiebreakers, including Gaston. I'm gonna have to pull it up because I don't want to say the wrong people. I think Armand Firecracker and maybe Giat was there. I can't remember who else was like that high up, but yeah. Congrats to the tiebreakers. And big shout out to Axu. Axu streamed and talked about Netrunner for about I don't know how long, because it felt like the entirety of the day and most of the night on Saturday and then all of Sunday as well. So congrats Axu, and thank you for your service. It meant that I could kind of follow along in the background, even if I was only dipping in and out. So yeah, this Issuaq, which is like pretty nuts, 14 hours. Oh, that's a while, isn't it? That's a while. Is kind of got the whole like punitive bacterial thing going on. It's got data loops and Daniella's. And I think Daniela is an underexplored card. And was it in the PE deck as well? Because if so, like, she's actually turning up in some good decks. I think this is a card which should be maybe seeing more play and potentially even out of faction at some point, but we can get to that. It's obviously doing the Lacosta grid thing and the seamless launch thing because it's Issuaq, and it's just trying. It's kind of interesting because it's only trying to get one. It's using the ID once, literally once. It just wants to get one Issuaq counter, meaning that it only has to score out 2 agendas, which is kind of cool because like that's actually like quite good against things like Hermes. If you're only giving them like one Hermes trigger on your turn, that feels pretty great. And just means that your threats are so much more threatening. All of a sudden, like any install advance kind of could be the win once you're on that Issuaq counter. And so you're going to have to run all of those Charlottes. You're going to have to run that what might be the one-of NGO front. You're going to have to run and steal potentially a Fuji off a Daniela behind a data loop and then try and not get punitived in the process. It's quite a big old ask. So cool. It's cool. I like it. And it went undefeated, and you know, I love seeing like underplayed or off meta choices doing really, really well. Talking about off meta choices, you know what didn't do really well? Hashiko. So for all of the lamenting about how Reg Hashiko is clearly the best runner and is like fairly unstoppable, and what are you going to do about it? Hashiko performed incredibly badly. Or maybe not incredibly badly, but certainly, you know, much worse than you would expect. I think we can pull up the cut. Should be on tournaments. No, that's always be running. I would have had this. Oh well, I'll just look at it through here in a second. We'll have a little glance through. But I just wanted to shout out a couple of the decks from the cut which have been published, because that's like the nicest way to look at them. This is Jet Ski, which Koga took to 13th place. I know that he was going to be playing Hashiko. I think he even said that he registered Hashiko, went and had lunch and flipped it during lunch, like about an hour or so before the event was going to start. He went, nah, you know what, I'm gonna pivot. And he'd been playing around with this, which is essentially Bridgman's Bankar Steve, adjusted slightly, just without the Bankars. He's playing 0, Um, yeah, and this did serious work. It's playing two copies of Jackpot. It's fun. I love it. Uh, and yeah, it's kind of cool. Like it looks fun. You just kind of blitz through your deck, and then you use Steve to get the stuff back. One single wake implant as the only uh, win condition, other than sort of Steve pressure. It's terrifying to me. I'd want to play two of these because if you lose your one, like, ugh, it's gonna feel bad. And then probably got to shout out Soccer, who just took the most fair decks. Like his decks, like if you see this and Asa, I mean Asa's doing like what Asa does, and it's playing Skunk Void, but kind of nothing new, and yet he brings what you could consider a very fair decks and came third because sometimes you're just good. He's rocking compilation, love that. He's playing build script. I mean, this showed up way more than anyone else would have thought. And he's playing pressure spike, which is like kind of fun, and maybe expecting some people to be on the kind of built to last like glacier thing. Um, Not clicking Koga's image in the write up. What I No, I never do, but I will do. Oh yeah, sorry, I should have clicked it. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Um, but then in the top cut, whoa, that's bright, isn't it? Um, that's really bright. Why does this have no like dark? That's like washing me out a lot. So quick look through because there was like some pretty fun stuff. I haven't had a proper time to look through. Analyze Chris on fairly classic Hashiko with Ashen. Legwork, I know, did a ton of work for him in Boston, and playing sports with Audacity, so the kind of like blame changer, or not blame changer, but what have you. Augustus playing 65 card Arasana, World Tree Arasana. Really, really fun. Like, gotta love World Tree Arasana. And the Augustus special of Ag Infusion with Punitive and two Spin Doctors. That's how you know it's an Augustus deck. Did very well with this. I think he killed quite a few people like turn one or turn two. Big new adjustment to that list for Chris is the Daily Business Show. Yeah, I can understand this because um, I was playing a little bit of sports, and um, I really liked. I had the version which had federal fundraisings, and like that felt really good. And DBS is twice as powerful, obviously, if you can fire it on both turns. So if you can fire it on your turn and your opponent's turn, and quite often with sports you get to draw on your opponent's turn, so that feels like a good choice. It's also 4 credits to trash, which when you're just trying to go fast and you're forcing the corp to have no money, seems good. Uh, Chord Gang, and I think quite a few of the QTs were on Essa, which I think is a great meta call. Lots of people trying to play lots and lots of barriers. Um, yeah, Armani is pretty sick. This is true. I don't think Chris was on Armani at all, though. I think this one was like the Audacity version. Yeah. Um, but someone was on Triple Armani Sports. I did see a Triple Armani Sports. So yeah, Essa I think is a pretty cool meta call. I really like the fact that they're on compilation because you can sometimes pick something up off the bin which you've milled. That is a very important piece of the corpse engine, like an end of the line or something like that. And I would just hold on to it. But you also like Essa loves HQ multi-access because after you have done a load of sabotage, then HQ is often pretty soft, and seeing free from HQ is great. High game of droids. It means that we're playing another mirror morph today. It's not punitive. It's not punitive today though. But we are going to play another mirror morph, and was playing 42 card as Mari. Didn't notice that at the time. This is going down the Jai aspect, and I just say that because I can't remember. I think it was an APAC or something like that. Continentals that Jai took a 40 card as Mari, which was doing the Neurospike thing, and it played 40 cards just because you just wanted to get to your combo as fast as you could. It made a lot of sense. You should play Solomir's runner deck. I'll get to that, right? That'll be here, yeah. Was he on like complete good stuff? I can't remember. Okay, Fire RL was playing like Boomerang Hosh with crew. That's fun. And then Ag Infusion. I think this is the. Is this the sprint Ag Infusion? Yeah. This is the Ag Infusion with triple sprint. And no Rashida, which I totally get, because like once you've got a Charlotte in the server, you kind of want to keep the Charlotte in the server, and then the Rashida becomes a really dead card. Hectorist. So Hectorist was on Issuaq. Like, yeah, we've already talked about that. Absolutely nuts. And a Hermes Lat. So, like, quite a spicy runner as well. Playing Burners and Trickshot. I'm going to concede to Axie that Trickshot is very, very good. Because I've been playing it a lot in kit. I'm going to concede that if you're not on SMC, Trickshot is better than Overclock, and that's about as far as I'm going to go. I don't want to put myself in too much, so that's like pretty interesting. And I think like particularly Trickshot is better than Overclock with Hermes, because obviously you want lots of accesses, so you get more Hermes bounces. Yan Tuno. So the Essa deck I think is maybe very similar to the rest of the cuties, but its ob deck is nuts. We got to see this on stream. The way Yan Tuno looks at ob and builds ob is just a different kind of thing. Obviously focus on Eminent Domain being like really, really strong, and I agree. They're playing a single copy of Corporate Town, which I think is like great. I've realized that you can't actually see where my mouse is here. Corporate Town is a card which I think is potentially underplayed. And Hearts and Minds, which like we all shit on a bit, talking about Axu having 0 bad takes. We all shit on Hearts and Minds a bit because we said, well, it's never going to stick to the board. But basically what it turns out is if you can stick a Hearts and Minds to the board, you kind of win games with it, as I've found out with various things recently. This is like a very powerful card when you want it to be. And we saw Tuno do some kind of pretty nutty things with Hearts and Minds scoring out, being able to rejam. There was one turn where the amount of click compression that went on, it involved like scoring, repairing the board after a Hermes bounce, and jamming something in a server. Like kind of nuts. Kikai was on Mining Accident Arasana, so shout out Kikai, because obviously I love a bit of Mining Accident Arasana. Sort of Wheels being a funky tech card, and a Mobius. I did not see that one. Cool. That's a way you can spend 1 influence. I get like I tell you what. Okay, so I kind of see what Kiko's smoking here because if you put either a a Kaya ban or I assume there's not actually. I was going to say or you put a what do we call it a Pikachu on like HQ ice and then you run through it twice with Mobius. That's like a ton of pressure. Um, oh, I assume Kikai is kicks in chat. I played it exactly once. I failed to get into R&D on the second run because I couldn't count. Wait, what are you doing with? Are you doing something really nuts with this Mobius, or am I missing out? Mobius runs an R&D. Does it? Yes, it does, doesn't it? Because it's wrong. Okay. Okay, so Mobius, so they are on Kikai. Were you on Thingy? Were you on? You're not on Conduit, no? Turn one, it's a dirty laundry to enable mining accident. Okay, cool. Yeah, cataloger. Okay, so yeah, so you can like Mobius, like do your cataloger, run back, game one, click the cataloger to get another one. Like, okay, I see it. Fun. That is sad if you did it on stream and it didn't get off. That's a pity. Here we have, as mentioned before, Triple Armani Sports because Kikai is the real villain amongst us all. Hating on anyone who wants to install anything over the cost of about 2 credits. Pretty disgusting ice suite. Look at that. That's gross. And a Aurora tracker just for the lols. Koga, we talked about their Steve deck, and then Koga was on Armani Sports. I think this is essentially Veruca Sports without the click tax operations. And other stuff in. I couldn't tell you exactly what they've added in. Christovus, double deep dive Sable. Solid choice. Alarm clock seems really good in deep dive Sable, especially. I think that's probably the only really new include here. Technically a fair deck, right? This is pretty fair. And then Neurospike Mari, Christovus cutting down to 40 cards. They're going all in on the Jai special. So someone work out the 2 cards difference between them and core gangs. Real winning the event with Real. Playing kit, not just playing kit, playing 2 build script in kit because you've got influence to spare. This is nuts. Like this is kind of where like specifically kit is right now. Is that you put all of the cards which you want to put into your deck and you'll go like, right, I'm at like about 42 cards and I've spent no influence. So then just working out what to do it, and it's like you can just throw free Bravado in there and DJ Steve, or you can be a bit more sensible as Riel has been, and is clearly smoking the same thing as Soccer, because build script, I mean, you're just getting to the cards which you want quicker. They described Compile as Greenside Job. That will be its name forever in my mind. Yeah, and the rest of this is just pretty sick. I love that Rigging Up is seeing play because I was petitioning for this to come back for so long. They're playing exactly just the 2 programs, which I really, really like. It means that your sparks always hit and you only need 2 sparks to get it going. I don't agree with the spark decks that play multiple Lobasomes because they want to get the Lobasome out first. I am against that as an idea. I'm personally currently playing 1 Lobasome, 1 Orca, and 1 Inversificator. It's a bit different. But I totally agree with this, and if you lose one, it's fine. You've got 3 compiles, they come back, you're all good. And you can just use the compile like an inside job. You're like, I'm just going to run your server. Do you want to res your ice? Like, I'm going to break it. It's great. And then this just disgusting PE deck. Cohorts, moon pools, 3 copies of Prana Condenser, 3 copies of Warroid Tracker, 2 copies of Warroid Tracker, some Hollow Men as well. Gross. Just straight up gross. Compile is, as an answer to drawing your programs, is great. Exactly. Yeah, you just pitch them and then you just bring them back with the compile. Now, the one issue that you have is that they have to res the ice, otherwise your compile doesn't get to pull back a program. But that's generally fine. It's like, if not, you just find another compile. And actually, Real didn't have any other. Oh, and you've got Fenris as well, if it really comes to it. Like, you can get 2 compiles back, assuming that you can get it to HQ. Rotom is ever reliable Rotom, and came with Good Stuff Crim, Twinning, Companions, 2 copies of Nuka for draw, the Breaker Suite, and did really well because he's Rotom. What are you going to do? He's a good player, and he just plays decks so smooth. This is Axu. This is Axu gaming right here. Like, let's find the spice. Here's the spice. 1 no free lunch. That's the spice. But that's that's good stuff. Deck building. I can't do it. I can't win like that. Hey Koga, how you doing? We've just been chatting about your decks. Congrats on doing so well on the weekend. Seb K, hey Syndrin, very good to see you. Seb K playing 71 card Arasana, World Tree, with a compilation, 2 Salems. I'm not going to go through everything in the World Tree decks because it takes forever. And then Seb K bringing this RH deck, which I think everyone in their right mind would have assumed is doing the like punitive thing. I think even Axu on stream thought that it was doing the punitive thing. Either that or he hasn't been reading all the servers. I don't think he actually knew what was going on. Seb K just setting up his board, installing something on archives. It's probably a whatever, and then all of a sudden they Hollow Man out an agenda, and you're like, oh, here comes the bacterial programming. No, it's a Sisyphus protocol. And then all of a sudden, all of your Anansis and Atinis and Melinzi, very rude, and Saisentans, you need to go through twice if it's the first one. That seems pretty mean, but you can just break it because you've got breakers, right? Well, Seb's also packing Helheim servers, so he can boost those ice to like nonsense amounts. And once you've like hit the ice, it is too late for you to go back. Odd Radish, good evening. Is build script essentially, I'd play 44 cards for 1 influence if you let me? That's an interesting thing. So you could shave Kit right down to a 35 card deck if you wanted to. Oh no, what did I do? Uh-oh. I might have dropped my mouse and closed the window. Right, let me see if I can sort this out. Okay. Now the big issue is history. Oh, this could be risky. Do I look at my history on stream? Okay, you can't see it, right? Oh, you can see it. This is fine. I don't know why I'm worried. I'm obviously not worried about my history or anything. Control Shift T opens up the last closed thing. It's probably too late now. Let's find out. Yeah, it's too late now. That is good to know for last time, though. Okay, so Seb K playing this absolute monstrosity. Really not like once you scored a Sisyphus with a Regenesis, you just have to score 1 more Regenesis with a Bacterial. And I think he killed quite a few runners by them just not being able to break the ice, or at least break it twice. Hollow Man, 2 regens, 1 with scissors, 1 with bacterial. Yeah, exactly 7 points. Obviously, if you lose 2 regenesises, it becomes quite hard. Alt and F4 opens up Netrunner DB. Oh, well, I'll definitely press that. Soccer's list we've kind of talked about a little bit, as in he brings good stuff and he just plays really, really well. Although there is some like real spice here, like this Breaker Suite is kind of nuts, as in it's really good, but it only works if you know what you're doing. I love the fact that he's got a Palangi. I think Palangi is sick. It also means that he can use the pressure spike to like break really big other things. Like, let's say he was running into Seb K, who boosts his Malinzi to like 20 strength. Well, you can like break that for about 5 credits with a pressure spike and a Palangi. And he's got loads of other really good reasons, like he's running free simul chip and loads of really good options for simul chipping. He's got copulation, he's got fermenters. I really like the look of this list, actually. As much as I say it's good stuff, it's actually incredibly fun and well put together, obviously. But looks like the kind of list which I want to play. And he's playing a build script, so obviously he did well. Solomir! Ignore? No, I won't ignore. Solomir. I didn't know Solomir was on this. Oh, I see, Axie. I see why you're so interested. Solomir? What the fuck was Solomir doing? Sorry, I kind of assumed that this was going to be something else. Okay, so Solomir was playing Wizard's Chest, and one of the best things to do with Wizard's Chest is Jacinho, as we all kind of know. But one of the other things that you can do with Wizard's Chest is you can install massive fuck-off programs, and that's what he's doing here. That's so cool. Like, run 3 centrals, install your Lobosomem for like nothing, and then run 3 centrals again and install your Orca. And at some point, yeah, they're just sparks, but kind of better, right? Because you're going to get a choice of 2 of these. And it's always going to be one of the expensive ones. Like, I assume you're always Wizard's Chesting for programs first. I also really like the fact that, like, I've seen a lot of like Jacinho Wizard's Chest decks, and they kind of always hold a Wizard's Chest on board because they're like, well, I'm gonna need it to get with Jacinho. But then you're like, you have this very powerful card in your deck, use it, find another one to get your other Jacinhos. So I like this a lot. Maybe we should play Solomir's deck. I hadn't seen this at all. I don't know if it was on stream. I'm gonna have to go back and have a look once the streams are up on whatever. This is nuts. Love it. Yeah, 10 out of 10 to Solomir for this one. And top cutting with a Jacinho. It's a good card. Their sports metal deck. A little more standard Audacity, but a very spicy Sadaka in here, which I think is like a really good shout in sports, because one of your biggest issues is always going to be like twinning, right? Solomir must be a real YouTube enjoyer. Yeah, absolutely. If you draw the chests and the knife, you can get value from both of them the same turn. Exactly, that feels great. And that's something that you can't normally do if you're like, oh no, I need to hold on to the Wizard's Chest to play a Jacinho. I also think that decks which are playing Jacinho shouldn't just be trying to win with Jacinho. You should be trying to play Netrunner, and then when the court overextends and like lets you run centrals, then you win with Jacinho. Solomir was trying to spark Orca in every ID in the last 4 weeks at the pub. That's fascinating. I think does he have any charge targets here is the real big question. Because he's charging the Malan Dragon. Oh, lovely. Because that's a big problem with with like a lot of people who are like, oh, I've got my Orca out, and it's like I can now break stuff really good. But it's got a very powerful ability, which is charging shit, right? So you need something to charge, but he's got something to charge in this Malan Dragon, which lets you bypass stuff. Absolutely wild. Love it. Yeah, I've been playing a bit of Orca in Anarch. It's very fun. So yeah, sports with a Sadaka. Yeah, even just like wizard chesting out an Earthrise or a class act. Wait, can you do the class act? Yes, you can, because it's not like at the end of your turn. Yeah, so you could do a class act. Also 3 copies of backstitching. Very, very cool. Super cool deck, this one. One copy of Hermes is questionable, but also I know why. It's so that you don't have a second copy to screw up your wizard's chest shenanigan. Oh, you can charge the Earthrise. True. Very nice. Sorry. Yes, I get you. Yeah, that's great actually. Like just I'm gonna have 2 free card draw a turn. Okay, we are gonna play Mirror Morph again today. But we might well play this deck a little bit because this looks like a ton of fun. Do I just pivot? Like, thing is, I've given my stream the good name. I'll explain the Mirror Morph deck and then we'll play Solomir's deck later. Sid was on no copies of Joyride, disappointingly. But the twinning in Arasana, that's pretty funky. Charging it using like the Urban Art Vernissage, I think is the only like chargeable thing. Parisia as well, I guess, has like is a way of charging twinning, but that's pretty cool. They're on Gachapon, so like twinning makes sense. I mean, twinning makes sense anyway, but Gachapon helps you find it as well. I was looking forward to playing in the Asia Pacific Continentals. Our family thing came up. I'm going to have to drop. That is a shame. That's a real shame. But I'm sure there will be other things which you will get to play in, David. And was also on Sports Metal. Sports Metal did very well getting into the cut, but I don't believe it performed well in the cut itself. Warlock, also on Arasana, World Tree Arasana. You'll see that most of the a lot of tiebreakers brought World Tree Arasana. Slightly different builds because like everyone, it's very easy to just tweak cards because you can just add more. And then was playing Built to Last, essentially very similar to Soccer's Worlds List, but with Basalt Spire, which is like a straight up like upgrade over SDS, and Charlotte, which is like a nutty good, like obviously. And Logjam is a new card. I haven't asked how Warlock won most of their games. Like they're not unpunitive actually, right? No. So was it clearing house? Was it scoring out? I need to find out. And that's it. That's everyone. But like I'll tell you what, that is a spicy list for a top cut. For a top 16, like we've got about 3 players playing what you might consider good stuff, corps and runners. Maybe a few more like as in sport. I don't know. Do you call sports good stuff nowadays? It's hard to say. But some real spice going on. And one Hashiko. We've just gone through them all, right? I only remember one. 2 Hashiko. There was one Boomerang, one other one. I think like Analyze Chris, right? Yeah, and Fire Royale. SDS was part of a rig shoot package at Worlds. Oh no, but it's still on SDS, right? I'm saying Basalt was a straight upgrade to Send a Message, which I think was the Worlds one. Yeah, it's still on SDS. Trojan and SDS is probably better versus Hosh, but much worse in yeah, definitely. Like SDS versus Ari feels pretty shit, although SDS versus Kit feels pretty hot. I remember when when the cards were first being tested, and I was testing Kit against one of the tiebreakers playing SDS, and I run HQ and I see an SDS and I'm like, well, I can't steal it right now because I've only got one breaker installed and it's a Lobosomen. And then obviously next turn then they install and double advance what is the SDS, and I have to go and steal it anyway, and then they just score out before I can get my stuff back. I should have been on more compiles. Okay. Really, really fun top cut. I think Kikai's got it right there. This top cut is a real gift to the meta. There are so many decks which you can play from this 16 which are like completely different. Like, it's not like you're okay, I want to play one of the like good decks from American Conts, and it's like, well, it's one of these two. You're playing this runner and you're playing this core. There's about, a solid 8 or 10 choices on each side. It's maybe a few too many sports for the corp side, but yeah, it's kind of wild. It looks like a ton of fun. But now we should get on to talking about what we're going to do today, which is, so last week, if you tuned in, then we played a Mirror Morph deck. I realised that you could do this thing where in one turn you can advance a clearinghouse, click a Hollow Man, play a Seamless Launch, and have a clearinghouse up to 6 counters in like a single turn. Seemed quite cool. We played some false leads, and I think we won most of our games. Like, it did pretty well. However, then I started messing around with the deck a little bit, because I was like, okay, well, we can fast advance stuff out. Like, I was like fast advancing out the false leads using the Hollow Man, which is expensive, but you still have a click left after doing that. And then I thought, well, for one thing that this deck was missing was like the red level clearances, which is obviously a really good card in Mirror Morph. So I put 3 red level clearances in, and all of a sudden I realized the amount of like fast advance tricks that you can now do increases by a hell of a lot because of Mirror Morph. Hey Matthias, very good to see you live for the first time. Glad to have you here. So, what I found out is that with this, so firstly, we can install a Hollow Man. We can operation out we can. Let me get this right. So from hand, let's say we've got a Vitruvius, a Hollow Man, and a Greeting the Palm in hand. Okay, we can Greeting the Palm out the Hollow Man, install the Vitruvius, advance the Vitruvius, and click the Hollow Man because of Mirror Morph. So that means that we can fast advance out a Vitruvius from hand using the Hollow Man. Now, we could already do that using Biotic Labor, so that's like so. But if we have a Hollow Man already installed, then we can install the Vitruvius, advance, Mirror Morph, click Hollow Man, Mirror Morph, and then repair our board after a Hermes bounce, for instance. Very, very useful. But if we have a red level clearance in hand, then we can play a red level clearance. We can even install the Hollow Man using the red level clearance, gaining a click back, then we install an off-world office, we advance it, we get our mirror morph click, which is to click the Hollow Man for 2 advancements, and then we have this magical 5th click, which is no longer a mirror morph click because we've used our mirror morph click, and we can use that to advance the off-world again, which means that from hand, completely from hand, we can fast advance an off-world office, which is pretty sick, and we do that whole thing for about net 2 credits or something. Because you obviously get the money back from the off-world office. And if we're installing on top of a Tranquility home grid, then it's even better. What if one Hollow Man was one sudden? That's not a bad idea. I like that. Now, what also is a fact is that if we have a Hollow Man already installed on the table, and I haven't quite worked out any way of doing this without it being wait, one. Oh no, there is a way, but you need to have a hell of a lot of stuff in hand. So if we have a Hollow Man on the table, then we can install, advance, click the Hollow Man, and then with our last click we can play an Audacity, and that means that we can fast advance out an Issuaq. And that only costs us like 5 credits to fast advance a 5-3 from hand. Obviously, we need 1 piece on the board. It's a Hollow Man. We already know that. So one of the best things that we can do with this deck is get a Hollow Man to stick on the table. Tough job, but what we're doing is we're playing 3 Warlord Trackers. Because we can be pretty rude. Another thing that we can do, we don't always need to get this Hollow Man to stick on the table, certainly not to fast advance the 3/2s with it, because we can play a restore. So we can do restore Hollow Man from bin back into the server. We can we can install a Vitruvius or an off-world office, for instance. We can advance, and then we can click the Hollow Man to score it out. Or we could do all of that. No, we can't do it with an Audacity that way, but that's fine. Okay. You can do that with an RSC install of Hollow as well for 1 more credits. Yeah, you've just got to be really careful with your... No, you can't do it with an RLC install. Depending on what you're talking about. You've got to be really careful with the exact lines, because you always obviously need the first 3 clicks to be different things, and then you need your 4th thing to be a different thing to all of them. One of those clicks is usually click the Hollow Man. But if you're doing any of the fast advance which involves Audacity, you can't use red level clearance as well, I don't think. Unless, okay, so the line is, I think, you RLC... Yes, okay, so yes, you can. So here's the line. If you wanted to fast advance completely from hand, you would need to have in hand a red level clearance. You play the red level clearance to install the Hollow Man from your hand and gain a click back. You install the Issuaq project. You advance the Issuaq project. You gain a mirror morph click with which you click the Hollow Man, and then you play an Audacity. Yes, you can do it. So there's some quite nuts plays here. And it's a little bit ludicrous. And I've just realized that for some reason I'm suddenly only at 48 cards. What have I lost? And why have I lost it? Okay, well, I might just put in... It's either another Trank Grid or it's another Skunk Works. Or it's another Ablative Barrier. The worst thing about this deck, by a long way, is the ice. The ice is somewhat meaningless. But one of the really good bit of ice in this deck is the Ablative Barriers. They are absolutely sick, because if we can get this double Warroid remote set up, then we can just start ablativing stuff back into it. a Hollow Man, for instance, and threatening the win next turn, or just like ablativing back in the Warroid trackers. So we might just put in a third ablative barrier and call it a day. I don't know how long I've been playing with this with only 48 cards, and I don't know why. You could go full on sports and cut the bigger ice. Very potentially. Like I always, the games where I have to res either this Bran or this MIC are usually like ones where I feel way too poor. But the problem is that Warroid Tracker only really works if we can make the corp a little bit poor. So we generally want them to like have to break a little bit of ice. So we just look to get like one of these two on the remote, and then everything else. Most of the other ice we often don't even res. There is one thing which I think Koga mentioned to me or suggested to me, which I might want to look at, which is to play. We had them in here, which is to play Jaguandis, and I mentioned this at the time because on Centrals this is like a click tax, or they have to take a tag, which is kind of good because like the way you win against decks like this is you just slam for Centrals, right? So if we put these on Centrals, then we're kind of taxing clicks, or they take tags. And if they take tags, then greasing the palm becomes incredibly good. I was playing against someone who was playing like a kind of tag me setup the other day, and the ease with which I could win, because you can greasing the palm, advance, Hollow Man, and off-world office. You still have a click left after doing that, and you've done it like you've done it very, very cheaply. Working prototype seems good in Mirror Morph. It definitely does. I think I considered it at one point, but it's gonna kind of take up space in our remote, which is possibly a bit of an issue. And I don't think we're ever going to get it to like the 5 advancement counters. As much as just clicking it once is fine. But equally, kind of, we could just play a Regolith, and maybe we do just play like a single Regolith. I might actually just put in a single Regolith, because like some games I have felt super poor, and even just like restoring a Regolith is like pretty rude. The 3 restores are like incredibly rude here. 11 ice, screw it. We're gonna play a single Regolith. Okay, and that's the plan of the deck. So we're just trying to do some like really. Oh, Vovo is nice, and Vovo. I tell you what, Vovo is something else which I've considered. Because all of these things are like 2 to res pretty much, and we get to fret 4 pretty quickly. Do we play a Vovo or a Reg? I'm gonna try the Vovo. Like I'm big on that because I've been considering it, and it actually like makes our whole server like pretty gross. Nano etching, yeah, nano etching is actually just fine because we can just put it out in the open and click it, and then we get money if they go and trash it. Okay, let's try it with Vovo. We'll because I've kind of wanted to try that, and if we do still feel poor, then we'll go back. We'll whack the Regolith back in. Bam. I think I had like other news to talk about, but I cannot remember what else I had to talk about now. Since you're trying to FA through the remote, MCA doesn't make sense. It does, but equally it doesn't in this one. Because we just wanna do all of our like fast advancing with Hollow Man. Let's do this. Yeah, this is oh, by the way, ooh, that's like a start, isn't it? By the way, we lose really hard to light the fire. So luckily, Lat's probably not on light the fire. Hey, good luck, have fun. Lat does have a link, which is annoying. because of the Warroad trackers. I might keep this because having 2 Warroad trackers is a really disgusting start, as much as we don't really have econ other than this Trank grid. But I'm going to keep it. And hopefully we draw like a Grease in the Palm would be great. That's like fine. We'll go draw. That's not perfect. So we might just go. I think we set up a remote here. Like we could get Bernard. Bernard. Oh, we get Pinhold. Well, that's fine. They can spend their money on trashing a Trank grid. It's not like the Warroad tracker would have helped there at all anyway. Okay, that's a card. So we could draw for an econ option. We didn't find one. So we're just going to put this on HQ, take a credit, and then we're going to gain a credit. And I kind of want to throw out the Issuaq. No, I'm going to throw out the Hollow Man because we can restore it. The problem is we're only on 2 spin doctors. So actually throwing out an agenda is a bit tricky. They've stolen the Vitruvius. That's fine. They've stolen a Luminor. That's less fine. At least we're now at... Oh, gosh. Okay, they didn't get to use their trick shot credits for anything, so we feel good about that. We draw a Bran, which we cannot res. The next card down is either an ice or an operation because they didn't trash it, so we do draw. Gosh. We'll put this on R&D, and then we'll take a credit, and we'll gain a credit, and I think we throw out the Bran. I really don't want to throw out any of the rest of this. This is quite the bad start, I'm not going to lie. Only 9 points in the top 10 cards. Yeah, that's fine. Fine. Yeah, we're going to get to threat 4. Get Bernard. They have 2 Simul chips. Okay, we'll draw for an econ operation. Okay, there's one. We'll do that. We'll install this in server 1 and we'll gain a credit. Next turn, we probably just jam like the 2 Warroad trackers in the Hollow Man and we hope that they don't run HQ. They've got like very little money right now, so I think we're fine. They've got a propeller. Does nothing currently. Okay, that's perfect. So here we can draw, install, greasing, and then... Okay, that's an expensive way to score something. Now, it's whether we go double Warroad or we get the Hollow Man in there. I think we go double Warroad. I think we go double Warroad while we can. They run the bin, they see a Bran. Haha! Your propeller is unfortunate for you. Okay, I assume they're popping an SMC. They do pop an SMC. Getting a Unity means they can get in here, but they can't trash any of this. Fine. Not popping a Simul chip, but that's okay. This could be... No, it's not Soccer's list, is it? So, right. We don't have anything that we can do here. So here we'll draw. We'll install Rashida. And we'll install the Hollow Man. We're going to lose when they run HQ, and they will run HQ. And they'll probably burn our HQ, and then we're going to lose. But we kind of have to push like super hard here. They're also going to ignore this remote now. I would be. Oh, and they probably have Clot. So, fun fact. We do not have Mavirus. We can't stop Clot. However, we can force them to Clot like way sooner than they think they have to. So what we're going to do So to force them to clot, because the thing with Mirror Morph is that it all happens in the same window, right? So basically they have to clot after we take an action. Now I'm not going to advance here. I'm going to... Actually, do I want to do the greasing the palm? Yeah. And then we'll put this on HQ, and then we'll ask for action. Hollow has to be pre-resed. Well, no, because we're going to do this. So as soon as we click this, we're going to do our mirror morph click. Any action now? Cool. The next actions on my side happen in the same window due to mirror morph. So we place 4 actions, or place 2 counters on here. We gain a click, which is to advance this, and we score it. Now, there's no window there. Yeah, there's a window maybe after we res, but that I did. That's why I double checked it. We're gonna lose. Actually, no, all of our agendas are here, so we're fine, right? I think we res the drafter. Like the annoying thing is that if they're rearranging R&D, like we need agendas to win. They're probably better off just going back rather than spending this cataloger counter, because it only costs them 2. Okay, neat. So here, Miss Bones is obviously really good against us, but what we're going to do is res 2 Warroad trackers, because this is really good against Pinhole. Next turn, we might restore... we might just restore a Rashida, because we know that there's probably nothing on the top. We're definitely not doing that. They saw a Hollow Man, or they put a Hollow Man. That's interesting. So they were probably going to trash this Hollow Man, knowing that there was another one there. I think we put a Rashida here. We put this on R&D, we take a credit, and we gain a credit. So this is one of my favorite plays with this deck, is like we can just blatantly restore Rashidas into these remotes, because it's just disgusting to trash. No, thank you. Yes, please. Okay. We unfortunately do not have an agenda. So we either need to score out this Ikawa, I don't think they're going to run the remote. We could put the Ikawa in here, put a Rashida on the outside, and put an ablative over the Rashida. Kinda don't hate that. I would love a Spin Doctor anywhere. Spin Doctor in the bin, Spin Doctor in hand. We haven't found one though, because I really want to be able to disrupt their cataloger. Thinking. Scoring out the Ikawa project is possible, but expensive. If we stick the Rashida, it might be okay. Hmm. Install. Yeah, we can like fast advance the Ikawa. I think they have clot though, and if we do the biotic play, um, if we do the biotic play, then they have a chance to clot. We need to find the audacity so that they at least have to clot after the first advancement. But then if we don't have like a spin doctor to deal with the Ikara after they do that, we don't have Mavirus because we don't have the influence for it as much as we're playing free red level clearances, and it would be really good. So I think we have to push this Ikawa. So we're going to go here. We're going to put this out here. We're going to put an ablative there. Hopefully something over here keeps them busy and they don't just go for Cataloger. They might just go for Cataloger. Although then they have to like run back. Do you have any way to trash one holo? Could install a yeah. So you can also do there's other ways. So I mentioned one way of fast advancing a Nikawa. There's actually a few ways of fast advancing a Nikawa. I think I've got one Hollow Man in the bin. And we can always restore a second Hollow Man. Do we res a magnet here? Costs them 2 credits. We want to still be able to res this Gatekeeper and this Ablative, and potentially score out this Ikawa and res this Managarm. That's a lot of stuff. This will cost them 2 credits. This will cost them 2. I think it's probably still worth it, right? We have to tax them out somehow. Especially to try and stop them being able to run back and click the cataloger. Are we playing a Vovo? We are playing a Vovo. We actually only just added it today. But yes, there is one Vovo, and yeah, it's mainly because we can get to Threat 4 quite quickly and then res all of our stuff for free. It particularly makes the like double Hollow Man play a bit easier. Thinking. No action. Well, fuck. Yeah. And if they played this really well, then they also put one like 2 down in case we do draw with a spin doctor. GG. Uh oh, nice. I should have known. Nice mad dash. Um, didn't break the magnet on either run there. You are technically true. CTZ owes me 2 credits. I'll remind him of that next time. Okay. Well, I mean, we lost, but we lost to CTZ, so I don't feel too bad. Maybe want to move your cam card and chat. Yeah, I mean, like at some point, I do sometimes remember to do this, occasionally, and then I'll move it back halfway through the stream and forget to put it back. But yeah. Okay, so I mentioned there's various ways of fast advancing a 5-3 here. So we can do it using a Biotic and a Hollow Man. We can do it using Audacity and a Hollow Man, which is obviously the cheapest way of doing it. We can do it using double Hollow Man, either just by installing both in a server, which has happened before, like install advance, click Hollow Man, click the other Hollow Man. Nice. Expensive, but nice. And we can even do it with a restore Hollow Man play. Kind of sick. And then, like, obviously, any of those things can also be done to score an off-world if we really need to. Generally, we want to hold on to the audacity for like last play. Ordradish, B Blum, and I have been playing Mad Dash in Inversificator Kit. It feels so good with Burner and Cataloger, and I would not disagree with you, and I wonder why I'm not playing at least one Mad Dash. Odradish, this is my kit deck currently. Now I need to move my thing back. Here's the spicy include currently. I'm testing out Paragon as a console option, as a way of going like, well, I'm going to try and draw my sparks before my breakers kind of thing. I think I want to be on at least one more compile because it felt really, really good. Being able to like discard stuff, and then I'm on one Investigator, one Lobby, one Orca. Yeah. This came from a chat I had with no one else but the Diogene himself when I was talking about drawing stuff in the wrong order. Yeah, but then how do you fit in the build scripts is a very valid question. Yeah, totally. Obviously, I should be cutting, the bones for build scripts. And there's no pinholes, which is problematic, especially in kit. But yeah, I've actually been really enjoying it. Like Paragon, you get like a credit a turn, most turns, and a scry, and the scry is actually really, really good. So like I'm pretty down with that. Oh, we have Arazan, very fun. Let me put it back here. Okay, we're gonna get rolled by an Arasana. Hey, hey. Look at fun. So, we could just fast advance out this Vitruvius from hand. It's not correct to, but I think we're mulliganing this. MIC is like the worst ice we want against Arasana. Magnet is the best ice we want against Arasana, so that's good. We could just install these three. I think we can go draw. We can use this just to get mirror morph value. Do we want to protect the central? I think the only thing I want to protect is R&D because I'm worried about trick shot. But I also want to get the tranquility out. We're just going to go like here and here. This is fine. They're on about 42 cards. There we go. There's the trick shot. Okay, painful. We res a magnet. Should deal with this. Might have SMC. It's always magnet. Always. Okay, Muse. 4. Euler. Very cool. Has to increase the strength. Has exactly 4 credits. Does Arizan spend all 4 credits on trashing the Trangrid? They do! We're both so poor. Okay. Can we hedge fund this turn? No, siree. Okay, so I think I just want to get this here. I don't think I can mirror morph. I don't think it's worth using the red level to get a mirror morph. Maybe it is, actually. It just leaves HQ very open with an Ichor in it. So I think I'm just going to put this on R&D and click for 2. And then next turn we can credit, hedge fund, install something, and like feel a little bit better about our lives. Okay, credit, hedge fund. Do I want to protect HQ? Not really. I'm just going to risk it. I don't think, and we'll gain a credit here because I don't want to draw last click. Like they might be on burner, but I don't expect burner out of Arasana. We're just on the same kind of build as last season's, but no need for more Aeneas with burner. Yeah, that's pretty full. Currently just using Bravado. That's what I was on to start with. Free Bravado seems pretty fine. This is a Gatekeeper, which I kind of have to res because otherwise they get like insane amount of Picachon value. Muse probably pulling. Oh, just for Salem. Yeah, makes sense. We do not have a way of purging that. They steal more agendas. Okay, we are getting ripped apart on stream tonight. Like, this deck always bleeds a couple of agendas early, but this is not going well. Do we just overinstall this Gatekeeper? I think we do right now. We're going to draw, we're going to do this, and we're going to throw this in the bin and overinstall and gain a credit. Like, they've used 2 Muses, and I can't let them have this Picachon anywhere on board. Okay, Propeller, they can deal with this brand. That's a shame. So, we can fast advance out of this off-world office. Are we going to? Yeah, absolutely. So here's the combo, right? So we go red level. I don't know if I've got enough money. We're going to find out in a second. To install this in server 1, and we'll gain a click. Then we'll install. So that's an event on camera somewhere here. That's an event. That's an install. We're going to we need to res the Hollow Man first because we need to be able to do the Mirror Morph thing straight away. We'll click the Hollow Man. It's click free using this one. With our Mirror Morph, we're going to gain a click. With our Mirror Morph click, we're going to advance. And then we've got this spare click left over, which we can do anything with, so we can advance and score. That's what we're trying to do, and that's what you can only do in Mirror Morph. You can't do that in anything else as far as I'm aware, without like other tools as well. Obviously, if you had like a further tool. How do you find Investigator plus the other big breakers? I like it. I like the fact that like having 2 code gates does make it more likely that you spark into a code gate. Please don't run HQ. Okay, this is last click. This is fine, apart from the fact that if they see the Ikawa, then we're in. Okay, they see the restore. That's really good for us. We might restore this Gatekeeper onto HQ, but we'll see what we draw. No, you're all good there. You could do biotic labor and wage workers, but like, but no, because sugar me timbers. To do that, I think you need to have the wage workers installed already, right? To score a 4-2. So like you'd need to already have the wage workers here. In this case, we can install the Hollow Man and fast advance for off-world all in one turn. I think we might be drawing 2 here and discarding agendas. Let's draw 1. We can't discard 2 agendas. So we could just draw again. Yeah, and we'll throw out the Ikawa. You get to install it. Do you? So you play a biotic, you install the wage workers, you install the agenda. No, you don't. You'd need to have the wage workers out. You play a biotic, you install the agenda, you click it free, you advance it 3 times, and then you advance it a 4th time. If you had an RLC as well, then you could do it. Or if you had a biotic and like other like install event type things, I think. No, you're all good there. Okay, we will. Are they going to be on clock? Let's find out. Do we want to... Yeah, I think we need the money. So we'll go like this. In server 1. Action. We'll... I think we install. And then we pause. Okay, their window's closed. So we do this, gain a click, advance, and score. You are missing the Forest for the Trees. You get to install it. You play it. You can also play it. I might be missing it. I might have to look at my my wage worker math there. Okay, do we res a Bran? I don't think we do. We have 7 credits and they can break it for 3 credits. We can't score the Ikawa from a bin even with the restore. Because we don't get a mirror morph click. If we had a... No, we wouldn't even be able to do it with that. It's really unfortunate, but there's no... No, you can't. You'd think you could, right? But you can't. It's slightly disappointing. If it was a 4-2, you can do it. But you can't do the same thing again. Botulus. Funky. Let's see if we just lose. We do. GG. Okay. We're gonna do one more. Because this deck has thanks for the game. This deck has been doing okay for me. It's clearly not doing very well tonight, but that's fine. It could be because we're playing it like we're playing it like one day after American Continentals, and everyone's like playing American Continentals top cut decks. So maybe we should play an American Continentals top cut deck, and if we do, then we're playing Solomir's deck quite clearly, right? Shall I copy it over just in preparation? Here we go. And if for nothing else, it'll make Aksu happy, right? This is in Zaya, I assume. I can't spell Zaya. Oh, no, it's not in Zaya. It's in the other one. It's in Sable. Okay, remind me to change that to Sable. Hey, good luck, have fun. Okay, we do have 2 Warroids and a Rashida, but no Ice to Jam behind. So I think we mulligan. Okay, well, that's our central ice sorted. Unfortunately, like, it's going to be quite rough to res. Like, we're not going to have anything to... Oh, that's bad. Let's draw one. That's not much better. We'll install this on HQ. We'll install this on HQ. We might actually install the Hollow Man and we let them run through the first time. Trash the Hollow Man, and then we... Nope. That seems terrible. We'll put that on HQ. They should run and force us to res this, and if they do, it's actually quite bad for us. Oh, but they don't. Okay. Let's draw an econ event. That's an econ event, so we can go draw. Okay. I think we still just, like, I don't really want a drafter on the remote. Not yet. Although now if we don't draw, like, ice, it's going to be a problem. Oh, no, David, don't stop watching. I don't think it's... Oh, gosh. Okay, they can break our drafters. That's a problem. Oh, that was you, Alex. Fine. Well, you... Oh, of course it is. That makes sense. Right, let's draw. Oh, that's awkward, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to install this Hollow Man on one of these remotes, on one of these centrals. Do we put it on HQ so that we're... Yeah, I think we put it on HQ. Sorry, on R&D, and then we gain a credit, and then we'll gain a click, gain a credit. And now at least, like, we don't lose everything whenever they run. Okay, it's problematic. Means they're going to run HQ. Okay, that is a piece of ice, at least. So let's draw. That's nice. We'll put this in a new remote. We'll put this here, and we'll gain a credit. We got some money this time. It's annoying that you can't slide Hollow Man out if the remote server doesn't exist. Yeah, that would be good. But kind of also makes sense that you can't. Okay, hopefully we can stick this Rashida. We cannot stick. Oh, okay, they're going HQ, and they've got a boat, and they've got a biobands. I was going to say that's one hell of a greedy run, but with the boomerang, you can probably afford to do this. Well, we're going to res. We need to force this them to use this boomerang. Oh, wait, sorry. I'll res Vovo and +2. I mean, this gets trashed, but that's okay. We can restore it. What we really don't want them to hit here is the Warroid tracker. They're boomeranging this, right? Yeah. Actually, if they don't add money, if they don't add credits, oh, they'll have like just enough. They'll have 2 + 1. No, they've used their Vovo credits. They've used their Shezva credits, sorry. They access the Warroid tracker. Excellent. Oh, not well, whatever. They couldn't trash it, which is good because we really need it to be we really need it to be like face up before we do that. Okay, we have a Hollow Man. We can't protect it yet. I think we're going to go... We're not going to get Mirror Morph value this turn, but that's fine. We kind of want to make this double Warroid, which we can do next turn. And then we'll slide the Hollow Man across. We might slide... Oh, we should have slid the Hollow Man this turn. That's fine. We're going to restore it. We'll res this draft, though. We've actually got like a ridiculous amount of money this turn, this game. Luckily, most of our agendas are in HQ. They see a Hollow Man. They trash a Hollow Man. They trash a Rashida. They put down a Hermes. Okay. Okay, we've drawn a restore, which is cool. So I think we restore the Hollow Man. We put down a second Warroid. We gain a... Oh, we probably draw a card first. We'll draw a card. It's an MIC. That's actually really good. That protects the server quite well. So we'll restore the Hollow Man in server 1, and we'll put the mic there and gain a credit. They can't break the MIC at the moment, so this feels kind of safe. Obviously, it could get bounced with Hermes. Do we res here? I don't think so. Alrighty. No, you're all good. Okay. Oh, this is really nice, actually. So, this is the issue. So we can fast advance out. We can fast advance the off-world. Or we can fast advance out a Vitruvius and still have a click left to repair the board. Which is more important? It might be repairing the board at this point. So that would be quite... So basically then we'd red level the Warroid into the server. We'd install the Vitruvius. We'd click the Hollow Man, we'd advance the Vitruvius. And then that gives us a Mirror Morph click. Or we've used our Mirror Morph click. And then we could either... Yeah, do we want the money? The problem is, so what happens next turn? They'll have 7 credits. Sorry, thinking. They'll have like 7 credits. They can run HQ twice if they want to. If they have a bravado, they can probably run HQ like multiple times. We will lose. Not even considering straight up jamming. No. Like I can't straight up jam against a criminal. This is an ablative. Like a single boomerang inside job, anything gets them in here. So it's just whether we want like the extra money. Maybe we'll take the extra money. They'll actually put a card back into hand, which feels quite good. And they might put this ablative. They probably won't, but they might put this ablative back into hand, which would actually be really beneficial for us. They probably put the outside ice, right? You normally would. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to score out the off-world. We'll do the cool thing. So we'll install this in server 1. We'll gain a click. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll gain a click. We'll advance. And then we'll advance. And then I think we res both the Warroid trackers, right? Because we don't want these to get bounced. They open up HQ, yeah, which makes sense. Like, we could also get doofed here, but I don't think Zayas are on doof. Okay, double Shesper. If they don't run, that's amazingly good for us. Okay, they do run. But we still probably get to score one of these, so that's nice. And we'll have a click left after doing so, although we won't be able to install with it, but we will be able to restore a Rashida. They score of Vitruvius, unsurprising, considering our hand. Okay. Move Hollow Man. No, thank you. Ooh. Okay, do we want a Vitruvius with a counter? Do we want a Vitruvius with a counter? If we have a Vitruvius with a counter, what can we do with it? We can also get a Vitruvius with a counter and keep a piece of ice on server 1. It is quite expensive, though. The other thing would be to install, like, score this Vitruvius, repair the board, and then restore a Rashida in here. I think that might be better. I think I'm going to do that. We're going to go install. Wait, can I actually do this? I can't repair the board as well, can I? I would need to do the red level first. I'm gonna do the retrieve with a counterplay. I think it might be worth it because it also means that I get to advance, gain a click the Hollow Man, do this, advance again, or I'm on exactly 2 credits, 3 credits. I'll be able to exactly res one of these pieces of ice, whichever one they don't bounce, the ablative. We really don't want the ablative here, ironically. Maybe we should have forced them to bounce the ablative, you know? Okay, this is wise because they can use all of these credits for the traces now. So expensive though. Like that cost 12. And we can restore it next turn or just like reinstall it. Do we get the ablative? Do we res the ablative to put a Vovo somewhere? It will cost us 2 credits. It says last click. Ah, no, it's not quite last click. So we could. There's no point in us putting a Rashida somewhere. Yeah, we don't really want this ablative to be here. I want them to bounce it, ironically. Okay, but at least like they've cleared out our server, but that was hella expensive for them. You can red level last. I could have red level last. That's actually true. Interesting. Okay, so now we want to like fast advance an Ikawa somehow. So let's draw. We'll install on HQ, gain a credit, and gain a credit. Doesn't feel great. I'm worried that we're actually not going to have an incredible use for this Vitruvius counter, but it's probably going to be to get a Warroid at some point once we draw another Hollow Man. Twinning, no surprises there. They have a... Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have installed this drafter because I want them to bounce this sodding ablative, don't I? And then if we score or they score, then they'd have to bounce it. Now they're going to bounce this ice on HQ because it makes way more sense. That's a shame. I massively misplayed there. Okay, magnets actually like okay. Did they just see that? I think they did. Let's draw once. That could be rude. So we either go like double Warroid. I think we go double Warroid and then next turn we get a Rashida on there. This cast is going to go, which means that they won't be able to easily trash it. We're going to install that in server 1. We'll gain 2, and then we'll add a Warroid and put it in here, and then we'll gain a credit. This turn, depending on when they run the ablative, we might res it to install a Hollow Man somewhere else. Unfortunately, they're probably going to win off centrals. Like, they're running centrals for free. Or for credit positive credits. They got Shibboleth down. Luckily, it's a bad Shibboleth. Cool. We'll draw a card. Biotic is good because it means that we can. We'll just gain a credit here, and we'll install and res. Do we get the Hollow Man? No, we haven't got the money for it. So we just put a Rashida here, and then we'll discard. Mix seems good, actually. I think it's the drafter is actually, ironically, the cheapest thing that they could break. Oh, it should have been the magnet. Yeah, Waroid is disgusting. Like that's a big trace. It stacks. Um, like it does. It's everything that it's everything that it shouldn't be. But they're going to see a ton of cards here, right? They go R&D and steal an Ikawa. We haven't drawn one yet, so there's going to be one there. We'll also... Oh, I thought they were going to... Oh, that's interesting. Oh, they're just using Paladin credits, I guess. We're going to have to res these Waroids so that they don't get bounced, which is a problem. We lost a spin. We lost a Managarm. That actually gets us closer to drawing agendas. Okay, we... Well, that's one hell of an interesting hand. I kind of need to restore the Hollow Man, but that's quite expensive. Maybe like Gatekeeper HQ is all right. I think they'll run it if we go Gatekeeper HQ. So we're going to get this ablative on R&D. We're going to install the Gatekeeper on HQ. We're going to take a credit, gain a credit, throw out a card, which is going to be this magnet. Double Waroid on Keeling. Yeah, I mean, that's like a pretty disgusting server, isn't it? This Gatekeeper res, I mean, we definitely res it. They break it, but it must cost some money. Let's see how much actual credits they spend on this. Two from the credit pool, two from Shezva, and 4 real credits. Okay, that was like worth it. Hopefully this looks like we've got stuff in HQ. Like realistically, we should have stuff in HQ. Oh, we've got Docklands as well. Oh, we're in hella trouble. Another Miss Bones, or is that the first Miss Bones? I think that's another Miss Bones. Okay, we've got our Audacity. So let's draw. We need the Hollow Man here. We also need them to go and trash it. Unfortunately, they've got stuff that they can trash. Put this in server 1, gain a credit, gain a credit. I think we're a credit short of fast advancing an Ikawa, which is really unfortunate. Not that I think we're going to get a chance to draw into one. But at least if they run R&D, Ablative gets us a Spin Doctor here. Not Spin Doctor, a Rashida. And they probably should run R&D. Just top deck Illuminal. Yeah, top deck an Illuminal. Unfortunately, doesn't win us the game, but it would do some serious work. It'll do even more work if we can get them to bounce this R&D ice. They seeing extra cards? No, they're not. Of course not. They're just building up for a massive like dig on R&D. We can't stop that. Rude, but we're still going to res this because it still does stuff. We'll put the Rashida in server 1 and we'll just pray. This gives us exactly enough credits to fast advance an Ikawa. However, we're not going to draw an Ikawa unless they trash some stuff or they steal a 2-pointer. Oh, they've got exactly 2 credits and a click left. How disgustingly well played is that? Oh, wait. We'll res that. We'll res that. We'll res that before. Okay. Oh, GG. Okay. It's not working tonight. It is not working tonight. Thanks for the game. But that just means that we get to play Solomon's deck, right? So I need to put it in the right. Apparently, it doesn't like Diesel. Oh, it still doesn't like Diesel. Okay, what did I do last time? I just wrote it in here somewhere, and then that worked. 2 Diesel. Yes. And then this is Sable. Nisha. Solomir Sable. Okay, I'm not going to look at the deck list too hard. I'm just going to go on the vibes of what I think it's meant to be doing. YouTube live. I think you added it to the tech box, yeah. That's been a bit dodgy for a while, and I wonder why. Wonder what it is about that. What's up, Source? This actually is not me cooking. This is Solomir's deck from American Nats. Oh, there we go. Now you can see it. Which is he got top cut with this. It's absolutely wild. I love the look of it. It's got Jatinho, but it's also playing Wizard's Chess to get out Lobisomon and Orcas, and then it's using the Orcas to charge the Lobisomon, the Mana Dragon, and the Earthrises. What's the DJ Fenris for? Is this for Quetzal? Because so that you don't get like. I think this DJ's for Quetzal, right? Either that, or I guess you've got Quetzal or Lu. If you're against like a ton of assets, then you probably go DJ Lu for the because you've only got 1 Miss Bones, and that's kind of like your other asset tech. Yeah, Jatinho confirmed. It made top 16 at American Continentals, so must be a good card. Yeah, I don't know if it was on stream at all. Axu can probably tell you, like he'll remember all 16 hours. In Swiss, he got 3 knife kills, 1 loss, and 1 ID. Oh wow! So it just was all Jatinho. But I mean, you only win by that by having like some remote pressure, so you can be like, well, you can't just push out in a remote. But yeah, I mean, just look at this. This is so funky, and obviously you're Sable, so you can play Estebrado, and you can still do your Jatinho thing by having a click left. Like this breaker suite is what really is just. I mean, look at this. This is just nuts. This would be a fun include for kit decks. Like maybe that should be considered. Oh, sound works. Hey. Okay, we have a hand with a Wizard's Chest in the open. Do we keep it? Maybe. Orca is pretty sick against. I think we're keeping this opening hand because if they ice up centrals, then we can just go like Sure Gamble Earthrise, and if they don't ice up, then we're gonna get like an Orca. Hey, Solomir, how you doing? I was just talking about how much I love the look of this deck. Yes, I thought so. I think we have two. Like, I really like the fact that this, as a keepable hand, has two good options depending on what they do, and we're gonna go for the strong play. So we can play gamble and still do our wizard's chest, right? And here I think we get Orca just so that we don't get blown out by Trebuchet. So we can go gamble, run R&D first, just because border control. That's fine. We see a trebuchet. We'll run archives. Then we'll install a wizard's chest. Oh, we could Jatinio now. I think we get an Orca though, right? I want to get the Orca. What if we don't get a choice of the Orca? I'm going for it. Yes, sick. Like I a big old whale boy. I was too knife brained to not get a breaker with my chest during Conts. So would you have gone knife there? That's interesting. I'm like, I just don't want to get super locked out. Like, because uh, we can now challenge server one if we want. Let's draw first to see if we get. Okay, that's cool. So maybe we just set up here. I think I want to challenge server one, but it could be a what's her face. Let's draw again. Okay. Credit kiting. It's a fun way of getting down our Orca if we draw it. Angelique, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I should have challenged it because it turned out it was a Rashida. Who'd have known, eh? Should have done that last time, but the rail tilted me. Yeah. Um, I mean, by not doing that, we kind of were a bit more worried about that. Technically, the main breaker you want is lobby because ETR's a co-gate barrier. Yeah, true. I just don't. I hate getting blown out by trebuchets. Um, but I guess, and like, do we have a way of getting back? Um, let's run HQ. What's the worst that can happen? Whales are known to tilt boats. Oh, we get in. We get our click back and everything. Does that mean there's a snare in here? There's a magnet. Okay, that's good to know. Um, so we could just get some drawdown, or we could draw with Diesel. It's going to like put a lot of cards into our hand. If they're on Trojan Horse, they have to boost a lot. We could run R&D to like force the issue. No, I'm gonna like get these down. I think clicking for 2 credits there is probably wrong, but I feel like I really want a charge target. So if they do res a trebuchet, then we can just keep charging this Earthrise Hotel. And that I've got to say, Alex is like really sick. Like we can turn ourselves into Lisa with this whole like Orca Earthrise thing. That's fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, double ice on HQ. So this feels like it might have been a trebuchet. Let's draw with Earthrise. Window is fine, but probably don't want it yet. I think we take these two. Let's challenge R&D. Data loop. Okay, it's like annoying, but fine, I guess. So we won't bypass here, I don't think. We're going to put... I think we just put like the Estorados. Yeah, we just put the Estorados back on the top. Like there is a way where we could wait and put one of these at the bottom next turn, but I think we just put these back there at the moment. We'll let that fire. I think we run and get rid of this Spin Doctor. I just don't want them to be able to Audacity super cheaply. We'll draw some stuff. I should have drawn first. We'll put this down. This is, yeah, so I think this is like Lady Killer, right? When I see Data Loop in outfit, I assume it's going to be Lady Killer. Which means that we do have to be careful of punitive. They could also play Under the Bus, which I think it only trashes our class act right now. That's fun. Yeah, I think it's on punitive. Do we care about these cards in our hand? Like, do I want this casts more? I'll trash the casts. I'm like slightly. Well, I don't think they. I don't see how they could do like a massive amount of damage, but okay. So Under the Bus, getting rid of the class act. Earthrise. Okay. Let's gamble and run HQ, I think. The Estebrados are pretty important. Okay, that is that makes sense actually. Well, this is going to fire. Luckily, we don't lose any money to it. I think we break this pretty well with whatchamacallit. So I can draw once. I think I don't need Miss Bones. So I might just run Spin Doctor. They'd probably pop the Spin Doctor at this point. Yeah. We can chuck out the Miss Bones. I think I want to keep the Pinhole. I want to keep the Credit Kiting because we might draw into our Orca. Not into our Orca, but into our Lobotomid. If they don't advance here, then I might Pinhole it. Okay, can't Pinhole it anymore. So Earthrise. We can go Archives. So now we could Pinhole. Potentially worth it. Yeah, I mean, there's genuine reason that we should consider putting down the Earthrise before we run anywhere in case it is a Trebuchet. But I don't think that's quite worth it yet. Let's go Archives because we can always backstitch whatever it is. We get our click back. It is Rashida. Nice. I think we just put down the Earthrise and click for 2 here. Click for 3 apparently. Yeah, 4 bad pub is better than bones. Damn right. Yeah, we realistically, and I don't think that there's going to be much for us to trash other than like Angelique's. have a funny feeling that they're never going to res a trebuchet. And maybe that was like the mistake of putting Orca down first. There's also a chance that they're on snare. Okay, inside job is good to challenge the remote. We don't have enough money to get into HQ unless we could legwork. I think that this inner ice is a trebuchet. They didn't res it before, and I think you res almost anything to stop us getting in, to stop us getting the sable click. So I think we run here and we bypass with the backstitching. Could double backstitching actually. Yeah, maybe double backstitching would have been correct, because if we burn a backstitching here and we don't get in, then we'll be a bit sad. I guess this could be a border control. Still no res. Right, we see a punitive. Kind of scary. Trebuchet. Too big to fail. I think we trash that for 1 credit. We put down a backstitching and we gain 3 credits, and we just hope that they res a trebuchet so that we can charge our Earthrise. I don't think it's going to happen though. Okay, server 1. Right. Do we inside job this? I think so. We really need... I'll tell you what, I really wish I still had that class act down. Because these draws aren't amazing. And I'm worried that I'm going to need these Estebrados later on. And I'm not going to have access to them anymore. I think I have to inside job this. You can force a res with bravado, then go back with inside job. Probably the better idea. Because here they just don't res anything, right? And it turns out to be an Angelique. It turns out to be a Spin Doctor. Okay, so forcing a res with bravado would have been much better. Now, we might still bravado now. They didn't want to res the first time. So what about now? Unfortunately, if they res a data loop, it does like do us a lot of damage in terms of our tempo. We're going to keep going. Nice. Ton of money off that. Like, they're at 4 bad pub. We can start like window of opportunitying their illicit ice. Does this corporate SDS? I don't think so. I think it's on CityWorks, as it's like free 5 free. Hey lazy. So this is Solomir's brew from American Continentals, which I'll quickly flash the screen of. It looks like this. It's kind of nuts. It's got Jatinio's Wizard's Chest, but also it can use the Wizard's Chest to get like the ridiculous breaker suite of Lobosome and Orca. Unfortunately, we're kind of being kept out of centrals currently, and we haven't drawn into any of our knives or any of our Wizard's Chest. Okay, we finally have a Hermes, which is good. What's the benefit of window on the illicit ice? Yeah, just because if they re-res it, then they're going to take more bad pub. Now they're already at 4, so any more bad pub which we can make them use up, is good for us. So I'll be tempted to run server 4, which looks like sorry, I've got like the hiccups. I think I want to run server 4, which looks like the Spin Doctor. So that they draw 2, and then possibly window of opportunity HQ, de-resin this Valenchow, see if they want to re-res it. It's not like the greatest of plays. Or we challenge server 1, but we're like mostly sure that one of these is just going to be a border control. Oh, we can also backstitching into HQ. Right, I'm going to put down this. I'm going to go server 4 because I think this is a spin doctor and I want them to draw into HQ, which they do. We know that they don't really want to res this inner ice. They don't get the bad pub if they wait until the end of the run to re-res it. They don't get the bad pub. They'll still get the bad pub. Right? Or is this ignoring all costs? This is a cost. Interesting. I think I want to force that as an issue. We now finally have a Jitinho, so we have a way of like making some plays. I'm going to go HQ and I'm going to install this Jitinho and we'll de-res this and we'll see if they want to re-res it. Because we are mostly sure that the inner ice is something that they really don't want to res. Either that or they've been baiting us in. Oh, it's a border control all along. Do we bypass this? They did res it this time. That means there's something in there that we want to see. Yes. I want you to potentially pop this border control. Because we might even be able to move this... okay. We did not see an agenda. We could try to Estebrado R&D and then run archives and see what happens. But I don't know if I want them to res all their ice because it kind of feels like they're going to score out here. And I think I want to bounce something. I believe Trebuchet actually does give a bad pub on a window re-res for what's... Yeah, I think like... Oh, that's not good for us. That's very, very not good. Kind of run out of a bit of draw here. You're not on threat 4 yet. Not on threat 4 yet. Good to know. Good to remember. Okay, I can make an archives run. I'd just like to force them to res this first dice, but maybe not. Yeah, this could be big Atlas time, which is like terrifying. Let's draw for... yeah, that's probably fine. I'm going to make a run on archives and see if they want to res. And then we're just going to put this down and take 2 credits. And okay, we have drawn some stuff that we can play with. So that's good. Do I have an action? No. Should I have an action? That's worrying. What are we bouncing here? Probably this R&D ice, I would imagine. Or whatever this upgrade is. They didn't res it, so it's not a Tucana or anything along those lines. It's got to be this. So I'm kind of hoping they don't jam here. Yeah, I thought they might repair here because what I want to do is like run archives, credit kiting down my Lobosomem. I'll need to clear the tag. Excellent, I've got the turn to do it, so that's good. Let's see if they throw anything here. We'll install this. We'll remove a tag. And then we either put down the backstitching or we put down the casts. Okay, Alex is suggesting we go hyper knife right now. So that's what we might do. So we've got one knife here. We've got one potential knife here. The data loops are going to be annoying. This is HQ mark. How much does this cost? This costs us like 5, which is the 4 bad pub. This costs us 2. But I also think there must be agendas in here by now, right? I'm gonna draw once for like a bravado or something. I think I want to fully break it because I think I want the charge. This is costing actual money, which is a shame. We'll pay 2. I guess like giving them money is fine. I probably should have. You see an Angelique. Do I want to kill it? I don't think I've really got the money to do that in a moment. We could Estebrado R&D. They're near Big Deal. Yeah, they could be on Big Deal. I don't think these decks aren't normally on Big Deal. They spend their influence on like data loops, and they don't really normally have the money for it. So we could Estebrado R&D, which kind of forces this res. I'm a bit worried about like double punitive if we actually steal something. Run archives first. Could do, but I wanna be able to bounce this outside ice. If we steal something, then we can bounce this outside ice and then run archives. Because they've never rezzed this archives ice before, which means I think it's useless. We could just run R&D. Okay. We might have a problem with like barriers here. So I'm gonna let that fire. I need another Earthrise. I need some draw. We might have to farm councils on HQ. Yeah, actually, this is like every time, right? Okay, we get to bounce a card. That's potentially good. I figured that the DJ was in there. I was looking at the DJ going, what's the DJ for? And then I was like, it's probably for Quetzal. So I'm glad I worked that one out. Okay. Okay, we've got Archives Mark. It's actually pretty good for us. Have we got enough money? We think that they won't res Archives, so that's good. So we need like 2 counters here. I think we need to force them to pop these border controls. So let's go HQ first. It's cost us actual money. It's a shame. I have to fully break this so I get the charge. We'll do 1 and we'll just break the end of the run. We see an Angelique again. So now I think we Estebrado R&D. I think we still have enough clicks no matter what happens. Estebrado. And then here, if we spend a click, okay, I think they're just letting us have this Jutinho, and I think that's probably correct. And we'll... Did I trash them a virus? That was a real big mistake. I should have just let them draw that. It's a bad draw for them. Yeah, we should have. Absolutely. I think I want to use one of these wizards' chests. Is there any money that we can get? It's only like casts, right? I might get the last Earth. I might get... Yeah, I might get a last Earthrise. Oh, there, I apparently have already got it. Okay, so do I get the Fenris to deal with yeah, it might be Fenris, right? I am genuinely worried about money, but I guess we run most things for free. I think it's Fenris for Quetzal, and then we'll score a Jutinho, but they might just score out from hand here. Okay, they're drawing. That's good for us. Yeah, the mystery box. Who knew, eh? Although they are on under the bus, right? That's probably a problem. Rude. Oh, they got our last Desperado. Also, I think we have to run this. And that's probably an Angelique, and one of these is probably a data loop. So I think we have to like draw twice and then run it. What? There wasn't. Oh, of course. Like there was an Earthrise, but it wasn't one of the first two things that we saw. Well, that's scary. Are we about to get punitive off like a 2-pointer? We're about to get punitive off Basalt Spire. This is on the Basalt Spire, not City Works. What do we put back to hand? Probably this? Yeah, this is probably not good for us. We'll... I guess we paid trash, it's free, and then we draw one card. And they must have double punitive. They just drew one back to hand, right? Yeah, we are GG. Yeah, we ain't surviving this one. They don't even have to boost. Nice. That's a cool addition. That's a fun include. Oh, City Works. If we just had a class act, yeah. But I think both of them are already in the bin, right? That felt like a pretty rough draw. So we'll run it again. Getting the turn one Orca felt incredible, but then it meant that they didn't res any trebuchets. So, like, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe I should have got the Lobosome first, but then like we can't face check ice. I guess we can as long as we've got a backstitching down, right? And we only ever run our mark. This one. The one thing which I think I'm correct on saying is that you've got to be really careful that you never install a class act. No, that is fine. What am I thinking of? There's something which it's if you no, sorry, ignore me. This is not the worst hand. We're against a Taya. They tend to be quite bad at icing up their centrals. Thanks, David. Yeah, I felt really good about our like opening Orca, and then obviously you just never res a trebuchet because why on earth would you? So that felt a bit rough after that. Like this is not the worst hand. We've got draw and we've got some money. I don't like having the Esterado early. Let's mulligan into a much worse hand. Okay, can we faceplant early ice? Considering we don't have any recursion for the Lobasomen if it goes. I think the answer's no. Also didn't read your hammers. Oh, you had hammers? So rude. Okay. Okay, so they can res up to 8 credits worth of ice. It's quite a lot. Just don't get Anansied. Yeah. I'm more worried about Saisentan even. Even just a tithe, right? If we lose this, we're in like a lot of trouble. But otherwise we could Bravado R&D. It feels very risky. Let's draw. Well, we're bravadoing somewhere. I think we bravado the remote. Whoa. Because I think that this would be a barrier. I really hope it is. It's a surveyor. That's fine. We'll trace 2 to avoid the tags. That can fire. We could bravado R&D now. I think we do. Like they could res a Karuna. It's a descent. That's absolutely fine. Okay, we should have like been a bit more gung ho about it. But now we can window of opportunity this surveyor if they try and jam behind it. It's also like pretty bad to try and jam behind it. We could just hard cast the Lobosomem and run here. It's not going to feel great. Okay. I'm genuinely considering like running HQ, potentially window of opportunitying through this R&D. Getting an Orca down. I'm going to run HQ and not get hit by a Saisentan. Sadaka? Could be rude. Luckily we're not on twinning. Let's go R&D and let's see if they res. Actually, they will re-res if we install this wizard's chest, but we're going to do it. I should have used this to challenge the remote. Yeah, I probably should have just left that. I think I should have challenged this, but at least we're forcing them to pop this. They re-res. That fires. We can draw. Okay. Well, we now need to click for some credits. We're going to need to use this wizard's chest to get econ. like big time. Or we use it to get. I think it's going to be a cast. It's either a cast or we get an Earthrise in the hope of drawing into. Wait, there's no dirty laundries? Uh oh. Uh oh. Um, fine. This is fine. Oh yeah, this happens sometimes. Lol. Indeed. Indeed, it does and has. R&D. So we could get into R&D using a backstitching. That feels awful going through an ascent for a backstitching. I'm going to run this and just force them to pop it. Yeah, you're right. I should have gone that way, I think. No, I think that's what I did do. I can't remember. Let's draw. Legwork is not great. Let's draw again. Window is not great. It's potentially good to deal with this. We're just going to put down a backstitching. Yeah, I've now got 18 credits worth of stuff. I've got 1 credit kiting in the deck somewhere. I guess like Wizard's Chest for some draw so I can find the credit kiting probably makes the most sense. Backstitching is on HQ. We might get an Antseed here, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. Okay, Sentan. At least we can bypass this. We see a Biovolt. That's unfortunate. We can't afford to trash it right now. So I think now we have to put down the Lobotomem, run R&D, run Archives, and then install like an Earthrise, and then just start clicking for credits. I bet it is Solomir. I 100%. Am I inside job in this? I don't think so. Like this is obviously like the first time, well, the second time I've technically played this deck. I mean, we could go Jusinio here, but I just think that's. What if we don't draw what I want? Oh my gosh, I didn't consider that. And like, I was like, what if we don't get? What if we don't get what we need? That could have been really bad. Yeah, they're pretty credit poor, and like window opportunity on this surveyor is probably fine. Although if they give us 2 tags, yeah, trace 4 is going to be annoying. Trace 6 is going to be more annoying. And they have a Vovo, so they can also re-res it now. You can move that. Go ahead. Okay. We've got a Jitinho. But we can't use it. We could technically window of opportunity HQ. No, we're still credit poor of doing that. So we're gonna like gain 3. Do we run R&D for a single? No. 0F Maxima. Hey Phil, how you doing? I still have a hard time believing that this deck is real. I mean, you know, it did all right. It did all right. You're about the same as me going into Conts. I'd only played like 3 times at the pub before the weekend. That is the way to rock a deck right now. It's not gonna make me feel much better about it if I lose horrendously with it though. Okay, they are moving stuff. They are icing up centrals because they have seen that we're on Jatinho. Okay, we can nearly install both of these. Yeah, the Saisentan is looking tasty for Orca, but we just can't install the Orca like anytime soon. I really wish we had one more credit so that, or just one thing that we could install both of these this turn, but we can't. So I think we click for free and we throw out. The window seems really important. The inside job seems really important. Obviously, we can't throw out the Orca. Maybe the window's the worst card here. It's really hard to say. Unfortunately, if they jam in this server, then they're also going to move the Vovo across when they do so, which makes the inside job like a fair bit worse. Okay, we probably have to challenge that. Earthrise. Okay, we have like some econ. Can we challenge this remote? We'd love to have drawn a Hermes. This is why I like Lobby plus Orca in Anarch for a retrieval run. Yeah, that's like that would be a nice include. I think we have to go and like get whatever this is, just in case, particularly in case it's whatchamacallit. Do we put down the Mistbones? Are we ever going to be able to get in here? Yeah, I think I do want to play the Bones. I feel like at some point I'm going to get at least 2 credits worth of value. I'm going to trash like this Vovo on Centrals or something like that. Oh, I'm already out of Earthrisers. Didn't realise that. That's a problem. I would have loved to have been able to get the Orca down to charge the Earthrise. So next turn we're going to be at like 8 credits. We are close. Okay, that's scary because they're going slow. Okay, can we get in here? Probably not. This boosts. This currently breaks Surveyor for 4 credits. That's about as good as you could ask. But we can't install the sodding thing. So let's draw Bravado. I think we just Bravado R&D, right? We could Bravado Archives. We don't have a backstitching anymore. I think we're just going to Bravado R&D. We get like an extra counter here. Charlotte, do we want to trash her now? No, we just need to get to a point where we can install this Orca. Let's draw. Okay, Wizard's Chest. We'll install now, just so that we've got it down. Next turn we can finally install this Orca. Then maybe we run all 3 centrals. And we get an Earthrise. And score this Jatinho. Then we're finally threatening. Oh, this could just be the Biovol, right? But that's fine. At the moment, their central ice is like looks pretty weak. And if they're relying on a Nancy in particular, then Orca feels great into that. It's the best thing that you can break Sight and Tan with. Wizard for second knife. We can't second knife on the same turn that we score the first knife is the important thing. We've already used 1 Wizard's Chest. So I think we want to use it for something else, i.e. to get draw. In particular, to get some draw to get an Earthrise because I want a charge target, really importantly, because we're gonna have the Orca down now. So we could challenge this remote. I don't think we do this turn. Archives is the mark. So we just have to hardcast this from hand. There's like nothing that we can do here. We now have 4 credits, which is enough to run exactly this Saisentan and this Descent. That's a great res, like for us, that is. We'll charge this. Cost them 8, cost us 4. We get a click back. Unfortunately, we can't now get in everywhere. Not even with our events. So let's draw. Pinhole could be sick. Let's draw and we'll take a credit. Okay, we probably need to pinhole this. Or we just like run, or we just challenge the server, but okay, they added Descent to hand. That makes sense why they put the ice there. Yeah, we've definitely got a Biovolt here. We probably want to force some reses here. HQ is our mark, so we could pinhole HQ. This costs 1, this costs 2. Then obviously we can break this. They probably Biovolt. The other thing would be to pinhole the Vovo. I actually wonder if pinholing the Vovo is correct. If we pinhole Vovo and then we inside job, will we have enough credits? We're like going to be short by a couple, but I think this is the only turn where we can realistically do this. I think that they likely pop the I think that they likely pop the Biovolt here anyway, but that's fine. That's 1 less Biovolt. Yeah, there we go. Let's draw. That's fun, but I think we save it for next turn. I don't think I want it inside job because they can resin a Nancy. Although, how bad is it if they resin a Nancy? What if we Carpe Diem, don't make the run, and then we inside job? No, we'll be too. No, we'll be. Right, I'm doing it. No. And then I need 4 credits to break the Surveyor, so I'm just going to go for it. They need to res 2 pieces of ice. If they res an Anansi, we lose 3 cards. I don't care. They res a Surveyor. They res a Tatubola. Okay, fine. That fires. Unfortunately, that didn't cost them very much money. What are the odds that they're 7 points of HQ right now? I mean, possible. We do have this legwork, which we can go fishing with, if so. I think they're going to want to cook this Charlotte for at least 1 more turn. So it might be a good turn to legwork next turn. Unless it's a Spin Doctor. And that might sort their issues out. Yeah, this feels like Hanzire an agenda. This is a Spin Doctor, right? Oh, this is an Adrian. Okay, they're making like the Atea Death server. That makes sense. Vovo's over here now. That's annoying. No worries. Go ahead. They just missed their like move Adrian trigger. Okay, we have 6 credits. We really need some more credits. I think I'm just drawing here. I don't want to run to let them res all this ice here. So let's draw. Pinhole is interesting. We can break this Anansi for 4 and go and trash probably their Charlotte. I think I don't care about the Adrian because it doesn't stop Jutinho. Let's draw. It's a card. Let's draw once more. Diesel. I think I just have to let them have this Charlotte. Like, I can get in, but it literally costs everything I've got. Maybe install backstitching. Next turn, I might diesel into a gamble, and then I'll have to click for a credit. The Miss Bones was unfortunately an incorrect install. It felt like I was definitely going to be able to trash some stuff at some point. I mean, we forced out a Biovolt. That's something, right? Yeah, they now have a ton of money. It's a problem. Okay. I think I'm gonna click for free. Uh, the legwork feels really bad now because now they have a remote which they can rely on. So if they draw an agenda, it's going in the remote. Pinhole feels really good. The credit kiting probably feels like it can go. Oh, our chances of keeping them down on money have disappeared swifter than Ken's console. Okay, here we go. They're actually starting to push. So now we can maybe find our Hermes, and then we can maybe do something. Um, let's find our Hermes. Didn't find our Hermes. I don't want to run HQ. Oh, I've got to discard one. That's a shame. Um, single inside job. I mean, that's one hell of a hand of cards. I just realised there's no alarm clock in here. Why is there no alarm clock? I mean, it'd be awful right now. Obviously, like it just feels like a good card for the matchup, or not for the matchup, but for the deck. Um, there's still some Earth Rises somewhere. Have we got any good Fenris targets? Don't think so. Quetzal doesn't seem like she would be helpful here. I think they're only on tattoo bowlers. Alarm clock is hardware, which can brick your wizard's chest. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's totally fair. Um. Hmm. For max efficiency, you're allowed one non-chest Jutinho hardware. I see. And that for you is the one Hermes, which does make a lot of sense. Um. I think it's going to be a very slow turn of doing this. Like the back stitchings don't feel great. unless we roll at R&D. I would draw one. Oh, there's a Hermes. I should have drawn first. I also just drew a gamble. Which is more important here? It looks like they're just on 3-2s, right? Oh, it's one draw off getting a Hermes last time. I think I need the I think I need the gamble. I've literally got like no cards left in stack. Having to like hard cast both the breakers, I think, just really crippled us in this one. DJ can go, Class Act can go. Okay, Charlotte's back. We have one Jatinho here. We have one Jatinho in hand. Are we at the point where we're like breaking that ice for cheap enough that we can start doing this? Maybe. Hand's Eye. It's not an overinstall, so probably a Biovolt. Could be a problem. We probably check archives. We might lose to yeah, we might lose to the old punitive. That is a Conjin. Do we want to bypass it? It could point at these surveyors. Does it get the same strength? Yeah. Wow. This seems like a fun way of utilizing big surveyors that are on a server. Yeah. I could bypass here. I probably should have bypassed in the first place. I guess I made them spend 2 credits. Is that good? Not sure. Are we bypassing? If we get in, and we might be able to get in. Sure. Whenever encounter a piece of ice during a run on your mark. Yeah, sure. This is during a run on my mark. We'll break this one. Charge this one. We'll see the bin. We see the Sadaka. 2 Sadakas. Very spicy. We probably inside job R&D. We're gonna hit an Anansi, but like, can we then get through here? This is gonna cost 4. This is gonna cost 2. Like, only just. Feel like whatever this ice is, well, it would have cost us exactly 2 to get through it. That is going to be just enough to stop us here. No, we can take 1 credit before we run HQ, so that's fun. Fimbulrig, obviously a pretty good include in decks with Surveyor. Right, have we... is this possible? It's I don't know if it's possible now. We'd essentially have to like, we can make this run, and then we're gonna need at least 4, 8, 10, 12. I think I might have to concede. Yeah, thanks for the game. I just will not have the credits here. Um, like I need to run all three of these centrals. We can't bypass any of it, so we can't do tricks because of the Anansi's. And now they got a thimble rig, they can move the Anansi's to the outside. And even with it, like the Anansi's actually only cost us like 4 credits. If we'd managed to keep them poorer, then maybe we could find like some window of opportunities and do some stuff there. But like this is our entire remaining econ. Here's all those Earthrise hotels which I didn't draw. And yeah, I just having to install both of these from hand. Maybe we need more credit kitings in here. Okay, no one tell Axu that I failed on the Jutinho stream. It wasn't the Jutinho stream, it was the Miramore stream, which also failed. Which is a shame because it's a fun deck, and I kind of wanted to show it off, and I did a very bad job of showing it off. It's a good deck. I think it's a good deck. It's got an even better name, and didn't work out tonight. But go and watch. I don't think it's up on YouTube yet, but I'm sure at some point they will put the American Conts up on YouTube. You can listen to Axu talk for 16 hours. No, what a legend. He had some really good guests on, actually. I know that Jai and Jonald were on the Sunday. I think Not Yeti was on the Monday, along with there were lots of other people. I can't remember everyone that was on. Apologies. It's also quite late. Before I go, next Monday, big news, like technically big news. It's news that I've kind of been talking about for a while, but we are like all the official announcements about UK regionals will be coming out, including oh yeah, Koga was on for a bit. Next week, including the prizing. And the prizes for UK regionals are sick. Like really, really, really cool. We've had some amazing art designed by Toby, aka Brindle Mold, and yeah, it's exciting. We get to show it off. Next week there'll be an article going up. I'll probably do something on the stream on Monday, and I hope to see some of you then. But until then, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a good one. Have a great week, and ciao for now.